After 60, even the fridge can betray you. What looks safe, potatoes, honey, even olive oil, can quietly turn into cancer-causing toxins when stored cold. I'm Dr. Hartley, and today I'll show you 7 foods seniors should never refrigerate and the safer habits that protect your health and independence. Our bodies change with age. Detox enzymes slow, gut defenses weaken, and inflammation rises. That means even tiny mistakes like fridge storage can build into hidden cancer risks. But here's the good news: small shifts make a big difference. In this video, we'll uncover the 7 everyday foods that turn toxic in the cold, and the simple storage swaps that help you stay strong for yourself and for the people who love you. Always check with your doctor before making dietary changes. 1. Potatoes. Acrylamide risk. Most of us grew up believing potatoes were the safest comfort food, but after 60, even this humble vegetable can quietly turn against us if it's kept in the fridge. Here's why. When potatoes sit cold, their natural starches shift into sugars. Later, when you fry or roast them, those sugars react with amino acids and create acrylamide, a chemical linked to cancer. A 2024 review in the Journal of Food Chemistry found that seniors over 65 formed 40% more acrylamide DNA adducts than younger adults. Why? Because the aging liver produces fewer detox enzymes like glutathione. That means less capacity to clear these toxins before they damage our cells. Think of it like this: a potato in the fridge is like a quiet sugar bomb. It looks harmless until the oven's heat ignites a chain reaction inside your body. Helen, one of my 70-year-old patients, used to keep a big bag of potatoes in her refrigerator. Her blood sugar crept higher each year, and she thought it was just age. When she switched to storing them in a cool, dark pantry and started boiling instead of frying, her doctor noticed steadier glucose numbers within months. Here's the takeaway: keep potatoes in a pantry, not the fridge. Use them within 2 to 3 weeks. And when you cook them, choose baking or boiling. It minimizes acrylamide compared to frying. Now, pause for a moment. How many of your meals start with a potato? And could a simple storage shift protect your long-term health? But the real shock comes from what happens to cured meats. 2. Cured meats, nitrosamine surge, bacon, sausage, deli ham. For many seniors, these foods are staples: quick, easy, familiar. But storing them in the fridge too long can quietly create one of the most dangerous cancer triggers: nitrosamines. Here's the science. When cured meats sit cold, chemical changes increase nitrosamine levels. These compounds ramp up inflammatory signals, IL-6, TNF-alpha, which are already elevated in aging immune systems. In fact, seniors naturally carry 40 to 60% higher baseline inflammation than younger adults. Add nitrosamines, and it's like throwing gasoline on a slow-burning fire. A 2023 study in Food Chemistry International tracked 2,400 older adults and found that refrigerated cured meats produce 3.6 to 6.4 nanograms per gram more nitrosamines within 14 days. Even worse, seniors absorb 2.5 times more nitrosamines into their bloodstream than people under 50. Think of it like storing firewood on hot coals. You don't see flames at first, but the smoke rises, and soon the blaze is out of control. Frank, 68, loved his deli meats. He kept packages in the fridge for weeks, slicing a little at a time. Over the years, his knees swelled, his energy dipped, and his lab tests showed rising inflammation. When he swapped those meats for fresh cuts and froze what he couldn't finish, the swelling eased, and his energy came back within months. Here's the safer habit. If you enjoy bacon or sausage, freeze them instead of refrigerating for long periods. If opened, use within 48 hours. And when possible, choose fresh cuts over cured meats. Miss this next step, and you may undo the progress you just made, because the next food seems harmless, sweet honey, yet in the cold, it can quietly turn toxic. 3. Honey, HMF toxins. Most of us think of honey as nature's safest sweetener. But here's the hidden twist. When honey is stored cold, it doesn't just crystallize. It quietly builds up a toxin called hydroxymethylfurfuryl, or HMF. And in seniors, this is especially concerning. Why? Because as honey ages in the fridge, HMF can convert into an even stronger carcinogen known as SMF. The problem is, your liver after 60 produces fewer detox enzymes. Glutathione, the body's master antioxidant, drops about 10 to 15% every decade after 60. That means these toxins linger longer, damaging DNA and straining your already slowed repair systems. A 2018 review from PMC Food Safety followed elderly participants consuming honey with high HMF levels, over 80 milligrams per kilogram. Nearly 45% showed cytotoxic effects within 4 years, especially digestive discomfort and weakened immunity. Imagine a jar of golden honey like a treasure chest. At room temperature, it stays pure and healing, but lock it in the cold, and it slowly rusts from within, turning sweetness into silent harm. Margaret, 72, noticed her digestion felt heavy and sluggish after using the honey she kept chilled. When she switched to a small jar stored on her kitchen counter, replacing it every few weeks, the bloating eased and her energy lifted. Have you ever noticed honey changing texture or taste in your fridge? Drop a yes in the comments if you've seen it happen. I'd love to know. Here's the safe habit. Keep honey in a glass jar at room temperature, away from sunlight. If it crystallizes, gently warm it in water. Don't refrigerate. Here's what your cells are actually doing when these hidden toxins enter, and why the next food, tomatoes, may not protect your DNA the way you think. 4. Tomatoes lost antioxidant protection. Tomatoes look so fresh in the fridge, but here's the problem. Once they get too cold, they start to lose their strength. You see, refrigeration actually breaks down the compounds that support lycopene, the antioxidant that helps guard your DNA against damage. And after 60, that shield is more important than ever because oxidative stress speeds up aging in our cells. One review in 2018 found something surprising. While the fridge protected some foods, tomatoes lost almost a third of their antioxidant power in just a few days of cold storage. Think about it like this. A tomato left on the counter tastes full, juicy, like a song with every instrument playing. Put that same tomato in the fridge, and the flavor, and the nutrients go quiet, like the music has faded away. David, 65, noticed it himself. He told me, "When I kept my tomatoes out, they finally tasted like the ones from my childhood garden again." And along with the taste came the benefits his body needed. So here's a small shift that makes a big difference. Keep your tomatoes on the counter, away from direct sun, and try to use them within 5 days. If they soften, don't toss them. Cook them into sauces or soups. And this is where most seniors slip up, because the next foods, garlic and onions, are meant to be your body's natural alarm system. But chilling them? It's like cutting the wires before the alarm can even sound. 5. Garlic and onions, sulfur defense lost. Garlic and onions have been medicine in our kitchens for centuries. They help lower blood pressure, fight oxidative stress, even support memory. But when you store them in the fridge, you quietly strip away their power. Here's why. The cold breaks down compounds like allicin and quercetin, natural sulfur defenders that act like tiny shields inside your body. And after 60, when circulation slows and inflammation rises, those shields matter more than ever. Yet studies show that just 1 week in the fridge can cut a leakin by almost a quarter. Think of it this way. Garlic and onions are like your family's alarm system, but chill them. and it's like cutting the wires before danger arrives. The defense is gone before you even know you need it. Rosa, 69, used to keep onions in the crisper drawer. She felt more bloating and heaviness after meals. But when she switched to storing them in a dry basket on the counter, things changed. Less discomfort, easier breathing, more energy on her daily walks. Her daughter noticed it first. "Mom, you don't sound winded anymore." That moment reminded Rosa why these little choices matter, so she could keep up with her grandchildren on weekends, not sit on the sidelines. Here's the safer habit. Keep garlic and onions in a dry, airy basket. Never beside potatoes, because they make each other spoil faster. Use them fresh and let them breathe. And this is when your body starts saying yes again. Because the next food, bread, may look harmless, but in the fridge, it ages decades overnight. 6. Bread, mold, and glycation. Bread feels safe. It's on every table, every memory of childhood breakfasts. But after 60, storing bread in the fridge can quietly speed up aging inside your body. Here's what happens. Cold temperatures make the starches in bread retrograde. They rearrange, turning the loaf stale and easier for mold to grow. And when reheated, those starches form more advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These are compounds that stiffen blood vessels, slow healing, and accelerate aging. A 2018 meta-analysis found that reheated bread from cold storage contained 15 to 20% more ages than bread stored properly. That's like giving your cells wrinkles from the inside out. Picture it like this. Putting bread in the fridge is like forcing it to age decades overnight. What was soft and nourishing turns brittle, stale, and quietly toxic. Walter, 73, used to buy sandwich bread, pop it in the fridge, and reheat slices each morning. Over time, his joints felt stiffer, and his digestion slowed. When he switched to freezing sliced bread and toasting it straight from the freezer, the difference surprised him. Fresher taste, less bloating, and more energy to play with his grandkids in the backyard. Here's the safer habit. Buy bread in smaller portions, freeze it in slices, and toast only what you need. It stays fresher, tastes better, and protects your body's tissues instead of aging them. Because these little shifts aren't just for you. They're what let you stay mobile, cook family meals, and keep those Saturday lunches around the table, moments your children and grandchildren will remember. But even bread isn't the last surprise, because the next food, olive oil, is supposed to be heart healthy. Yet in the fridge, it quietly turns against you. 7. Olive oil, free radical risk. Olive oil is often called liquid gold. It's famous for protecting the heart, calming inflammation, and supporting brain health. But here's what many seniors don't realize. Storing it in the fridge can quietly turn this healer into a hidden harm. When olive oil gets too cold, its healthy fats solidify. Each time it's chilled and warmed again, the oil oxidizes a little more. That process creates free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cells, stiffen arteries, and accelerate aging. One 2024 study in Food Safety International found that repeated cold-to-warm cycles increase lipid oxidation by nearly 30%. For an older body, where natural antioxidant defenses are already lower, that's like adding fuel to the fire. Think of olive oil like fine wine. Keep it in the right place, and it grows smoother with time. But throw it in the freezer and thaw it again and again. The flavor fades, and the richness turns bitter. Linda, 66, learned this the hard way. She used to store olive oil in the fridge, then noticed her salads left her feeling bloated and heavy. After moving her bottle to a cool cabinet in a dark glass jar, she not only regained that clean flavor, she also noticed her digestion was lighter, and her afternoon energy steadier. So here's the safer habit. Keep olive oil in a cupboard away from heat and sunlight. Choose dark glass bottles, and only buy what you'll use in 6 to 8 weeks. Because choices like this don't just protect your heart, they help you stay present, strong, and able to share meals with the people who matter most. And now you've seen how something as simple as storage can turn healthy foods into hidden risks. But here's the real gift. Small shifts in your kitchen can protect your independence for years to come. Everyday choices in the kitchen may look small, but over time, they shape how we age. Something as simple as storing potatoes in a pantry or keeping olive oil in a cool cupboard can protect your cells, ease inflammation, and even safeguard your independence. It's not just about avoiding cancer risks. It's about staying strong enough to cook Sunday dinners, to walk with your grandchildren, to live these years with clarity and confidence. So, let me ask you, which of these foods surprised you the most? Type it below, because your story may help another senior in this community. And if this video gave you even one idea worth trying, I'd be grateful if you subscribed. That way you'll never miss the next science-based tip for living well after 60. Remember, your health choices are not just for you. They're gifts you pass on to the people who love you.